Hello everyone, thank you for joining our presentation today. The topic of this report will surround educational tourism being a primary reason for those of Asian culture to choose a post-secondary institution such as George Brown College as their first choice. Research suggests that educational tourism is where people travel for location, history, and culture. We will relate this back to academic tourism, where students travel to a new place for school. Research suggests that the reasoning behind their choice to go to Canada for schooling has more to do with educational tourism as well as familial persuasion. There are a few objectives to this study. Truly developing cultural competence surrounding the topic of Asian culture and the reasoning for their attending post-secondary in Canada can help answer a few questions. The objectives are as follows. First, understanding the primary draws international students of Asian culture to Canadian post-secondary institutions. Second, using this knowledge, how can tourism boards such as Destination Canada capitalize on their efforts to attract these target markets? The hypothesis of this research presentation is that the primary reason for international students from Asia to attend post-secondary schooling in Canada is because of educational tourism. While the academic institution or tuition does play a role, the cultural dimensions of Asia suggest that they are more likely to travel such distances for creating new long-term relationships and immersing themselves in a new history and culture. Research surrounding cultural competencies from Hofstede and Liang Husan also support this theory. In attempting to further expand this research, a survey is being conducted targeting George Brown College students of Asian and Western descent so as to cross-compare their reasoning behind their choices to attend. Students were approached in person at the St. James campus with surveys that inquired about their background, age, influences for choosing George Brown, and more. Using this knowledge, a real-life picture can be painted on the fundamental influences that international students coming in from these Asian nations have. According to WorldPopulationReview.com, there are more than 20 ancestry groups that make up the population of Toronto, each having their own, if not just one, culture. The city's consumer is very diversified, which asks that we be interculturally competent so as to better meet their needs. Understanding differences in consumer perceptions can help to better understand consumers' behaviors, resulting in an enhanced framework for creating tailored product and service offerings, increasing both customer satisfaction and business health. According to Vanessa Vacher, a large percentage of our Canadian inbound international travelers come from the Asia-Pacific region. They come to visit and often stay longer. It's called educational tourism. It's an emerging trend in global travel and possibly Canada's next big income generator. An intrinsically motivated American consumer will purchase different offerings than an extrinsically motivated Asian consumer. Understanding and being able to effectively communicate with the cultures of those living in the Asia Pacific is a definite asset in today's world. Whether it be to advance your career, to make a profit, or to simply better yourself, the result will be improved world economy and a more peaceful, empathetic, and collaborative world population. Educational tourism is a rising trend among young, middle-class mobile students from the Asian Pacific region. Parents want to enrich their children's travel experience by adding an educational element which will benefit their kids. One way this benefits their children is by improving their proficiency in English so that they become fluent enough to gain entrance into Canadian or US universities.
Created using Powtoon.